Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
Every time we get together with her, like there's always insight, interesting stuff. She said something before we jumped in today that I really have to go back on because it could be impactful for all of us. She's a medium. She connects with the other side, has insight from spirit, and she is back with us. Leah DiNapoli joins us. How you doing?
Good, Steve. Thanks again for having me this week.
Yeah, good to have you back here. What's this whole thing right around this time? So we're right about in mid-December until the end of the month. I know it's a Mercury retrograde, so I'm going to maybe put that over to the side because we're talking astrology. But in terms, it's a big thing, yeah. But you said like this is a period of new stuff coming in and new opportunities and things like that potentially.
Yes. So I believe it was yesterday. You'll have to forgive me because I had a lot of readings yesterday, but yesterday was the full moon, right? So 12/12. 12 is the number of archangels, 12 is the 12th of the month. And a lot of the people that I have my inner circle in do some channeling, and it's all about this month becoming an opening and a giant portal for everyone to be more in contact with their intuition side, to their family members who have crossed over, to realign their life going forward. So in other words, like 2023 is already finished, right? So we can sit at the end of 2023 and say, what has gone in my life? What has happened? Where have I been? And where did I want to go? Right? That's almost at the end. But instead of doing the end of something, why don't we sit at the end of 2023 and now picture ourselves at the end of 2024? And what do we want our 2024 to look like? And start manifesting that and put that out in the energy field, right? So I'm going to picture myself at the end of December 2024 and look back at everything I've accomplished like it's already done. So it's kind of like it's already happened, it's already done, and this is where I've come to. So really good space to be in right now to do that.
Now, is that typically in December those opportunities come up or those thoughts come up, or this is a unique year?
I would say it's a unique year, even for myself. My readings lately have been off the charts. Like sometimes doing readings for people is almost like pulling teeth. You're really trying to make that connection for the person sitting in front of you and bring the spirit through. And it doesn't always go as smooth. It's not an easy job. But this week I've had some really off the hook readings that have been effortless and easy and amazing and healing. And I have some friends, obviously, who do mediumship as well, and they're all saying the same thing. It's a time to follow your intuition, and we all have it. Everyone has intuition. Everyone has the knowing. It's time to connect with that. And I wouldn't say December is it. I would say from everything that I've read and heard and listened to, we're in a new age and they call it a new earth and a new energy system. I don't believe it's a new physical earth. I think it's a new energetic earth where old things are kind of crashing down and new things are beginning. We have to get through the storm to get back to the sunshine. So
I call it the birth canal. You got to go through the birth canal to get, because I can't imagine it's that pleasant for a baby. So, the other side is better. Baby comes out
crying, right?
Right. Exactly. I feel it. Whatever you're describing, it's a weird feeling of, even though around me there could be crazy stuff going on, I'm like, all right, whatever. I used to worry about things. I don't worry about them. They're all going to work out. I know it's going to work out in my favor. I just have that feeling. And I know it sounds maybe kind of corny, kind of cocky, whatever. But I'm going with the gut.
Yay.
The intuition.
You got it. That's the whole thing. And everything works out for us, really. And if we could just not concentrate so much on the negative stuff, but the positive stuff that we have every single day, right? So all this stuff is going on around us, but I call it the uncomfortable pause. So I was doing my prayers yesterday and I thought, I'm in this spot where nothing is really wrong. Everything is absolutely fine, but I'm in a state of just pause.
Yeah. I feel
And
the same.
so I have to feel good with the pause because there's always something after the pause, right? So it's your time for reflection, your time to think about yourself and for self-care and do all those sort of things you probably should think about every single day.
Hmm.
Mm.
Thank you for verbalizing it. I never thought of it that way, but I feel like I'm in, I
The
don't, yeah, I don't want to even say, I was going to say transition. I was just about to say that word, but it's not, it is, but it's not. It's
Mm.
like maybe the bridge to the new year, maybe that's part of it. I'm not really sure. Like I'm trying to figure it out.
It
But
is, holidays bring in, what do they bring in? A lot of memories of people we've lost, right? I've been so busy just because everyone wants to connect with their loved ones around the holidays, even myself. So, my dad passed the day after Christmas. Has it been wonderful? Yeah. I'm so glad I'm still here and I still talk to him, but the day brings up times, of sadness and it's hard.
mm,
It's hard.
it's, do you
It's the
feel,
pause.
do you feel his presence?
I do. I did the other day something incredible. And usually I know this, so I could tell your listeners and yourself as well. If you're ever just doing stuff around your home or outside or driving, and all of a sudden, oh, I got to call my whomever, just know that they're right there because that's always my sign. My mom, my dad's been passed since I've been 15, and I got to call my dad, and it just comes out of nowhere, and I'm like, okay, he's here. Or I
Mm.
do the same thing with my mom. And yeah, then I can feel them. Sometimes my lights flash, it's all beautiful stuff.
I'll share with you.
Yes.
I always vibe my mom all the time. And I've done this before. I had some important personal meetings, very impactful. And in the past, I've asked her to make sure they turn out okay, and they have. I had one the other day, and it seemed to be going in a not a great direction. And I just took a moment in a hallway, and I was like, "Mom, hello, need some help right now." And it turned out okay. And it turned out like it. You know what it did? It turned into a pause.
Yay. Right.
Instead of a potential for me not the greatest outcome, it was like I feel mom hit the pause button. Beep. You're gonna press the pause button for you.
And what happens after a pause? Action
Yes.
or inaction, right? But we need that pause all the time. So even if when we react to something, right? We don't want just to react and come out angry or say something we don't mean, right? So the pause is a great place to be. So that's kind of what I wanted to stress to you is being in the pause, even though we can't see what's happening tomorrow, we're not excited about anything, but nothing's really wrong.
Yeah.
We're in such a good place to just be.
But sometimes we look at the pause as a negative place because there isn't movement. And maybe because you're paused, that it opens the door to reflection that you don't want to face.
And keep in mind, there's always movement. We're always moving.
Point.
Energy is moving for us too, right? So pausing
True.
and reflecting and just sitting in, it's almost like meditating, except it's the full day or it's a week of just being in a pause. And it's God's way of, okay, so this is really great. It brings us into my reading this week. It's kind of God's way of setting the next step up for you, right? So your mom pausing the pause button, hitting the pause button was setting up
I agree.
to take a breath for what was going to happen or not happen or just stop for a second, right? We needed a breath.
I
I
agree.
always call 2020 and COVID the pause. It was to get everyone to just stop, to slow down. That was the great pause of 2020. Stop and realign what you need in your life, your jobs. Everyone was looking at jobs and their families and what they do and what they don't do and how much time they spend, what's important. If you don't have those pauses, you can't possibly, you're just going on subconscious, you're just going on the roll of life and you gotta stop.
Yeah, I call it even the treadmill of life. You're just like going around. And you could still be doing that, but there's a sense of something
Yeah.
at this time, and I think it's the pause. I that's it, honestly, Leah, that's a great description.
Oh,
It
thank you.
really, it is. Like I didn't know how to put it into words, but that's what I'm feeling. It's not bad. I guess it's not good. It's
Yeah,
just, it's
it
okay.
just is. And
I mean,
isn't being just is, isn't that a great thing? Like
well,
we're
yeah,
both here, we're both alive, we're both breathing, we both have our health,
yeah.
right?
But it,
What's
it,
wrong?
it,
Nothing.
it's almost like things that I normally would think about, worry about, um, marinate over at this time. I'm like, yeah, whatever. Yeah, whatever.
It is whatever, because it works out, and you have
Yeah.
to, it's faith, actually, Steve, it's faith over fear, right? So our fear is we're in this pause and we all fear, what's coming next? We don't know. Oh my God, what if that doesn't work out? What if this works out? What if you can imagine, and it causes everyone anxiety, right?
Right.
How about, well, I'm just sitting here and it's going to work out. I'm just in the pause and I don't need to know what's next. Excuse me, because spirit will bring what I need next in the best possible way for myself and my self growth. So even if it's something in the physical world that you feel is not such a great thing, it is something that's helping you grow. It's an opportunity for growth.
Is there anything that we should be doing during the pause?
I would say self-care, reflecting, journaling, meditating. I
Mm.
got the pause yesterday in my meditation. I asked, I do my prayers and then I do a little bit of meditation. And I was like, what is this weird space I'm in? And I heard clear as a bell, it's the pause. And I'm going to embrace the pause because something's next. It always is, right? Why can't it be beautiful? Why can't it be wonderful? And if it's not so wonderful, it's something that's going to help me grow.
Isn't it interesting that the pause is happening right before a new year? Like I'm not looking at that. And there's been many Decembers around this time where this is going on, that's going on, we got this, we got that. There wasn't a pause. I feel the pause, but I find it's maybe not coincidental that maybe the pause will end and the Mercury retrograde ends on January 1st with,
Yeah.
what are the chances of that? So it's almost like a new beginning in a lot of ways. In a lot
Yeah.
of ways. Yeah.
All a new beginning. And sometimes new beginnings create us to be anxious as well, right? Because we don't know, it's the same thing. We don't know what's next, right? When I do readings for people, they're saying, oh, I'm starting a new job and I'm so excited, but I don't know what it's going to bring. And I don't know what my boss is like. And I don't know what this, or should I end my marriage, or I'm starting a new marriage, or and I have all the stuff that are new and old, right? But it's because of it's the unknown, it's fear. But if we can replace that fear vibration with faith vibration, and I don't mean, it's faith in yourself, it's faith in the universe, it's faith that, wow, you've made 100% of your worst days up until this point and you're still here.
Mm-hmm.
And even though sometimes we make choices that aren't so great, they come around again and we make a different choice because we've learned from an old choice. So the pause is, well, this is just coming to me, I think, from my guides. The pause is the neutral part. And God is neutral too. It's just neutral. And it's a great spot to be if you allow it. So what are you going to allow for your life? And what are you going to sit? Why don't we sit as we're already done with 2024? And you and I have just made, $3 million and we've had YouTube explosions because we've helped people all over the world. I mean, I don't know. Out there. Half
I
my
did
money would go for charities anyway, because it's not really about that.
I did play Mega Millions last night on a whim and
Oh,
I
on a
went in.
whim.
Yeah.
That's
Uh,
okay.
I still play the same numbers that my mom gave me and sent a sign. And
So fun.
I just keep recycling them. And my gut is telling me at some point it's going to stick
I mean,
because
I'm not even going to ask you your numbers because I've dreamt the numbers a year ago and my husband and I play them every week.
there you
But
go.
but I don't want them, honestly, like the money is just for other people. I can't wait for that to happen so I can help others, seriously.
Yeah,
How much money can you have?
I agree. I
The
agree.
person
And
next to you is suffering. You're really not the rich person unless you help them. That's it.
I even think of people, hey, if I were to win a windfall, who do I know that really needs help? Like genuinely, they do.
Really.
And I
Exactly.
would in a second, just because that's what you're supposed to do. Uh, a whole spirit process. When you get stuff, how do you know it's a message for you, a message for somebody else? Like, what are you hearing? Like you just referenced before something that you got.
Like the pause, right? What did I even
Well,
say?
is it, did you
That's
say
how I know.
Isabel? Isabel? Did you say that?
No,
Or Isabella? I thought you heard. But when you get it, when you hear something that's a message for you, how do you know? Like, what is this?
okay.
How do you apply it?
A really good way to know is, so everyone has intuition, right? So you're walking down the street, you see a dog, you see your friend, and then the friend and the dog reminds you of, oh, I used to see this girl all the time, back in college. I wonder how she's doing. Um, Geez, I haven't seen her in a long time. And then you go down a whole path about the girl that you dated in college, right? Just because you saw this dog and this other girl, sorry, two dogs, sorry, I'm just kidding. And
Mhm.
so you're thinking about this girl in college and you might say, oh, was that a sign? I wonder if she's okay. Did something happen to her? Or maybe I should reach out to her. That could very well be, but usually it's not, because it was something that reminded you of something else, right? It reminded you, the dog walking down the street reminds you of a girl in college you used to be with. You know, it's the difference is you're just driving in the car and, oh, Jane Smith popped into your head for no reason. You're just like thinking about the song on the radio. That's a sign. That's kind of the thing to act on. Or turn here. You hear something like, maybe I should just turn here. You get a really strong urge. I don't want to go down that road. I'm going to go here. You avoid an accident. It's just listening to that inner voice that everyone has and allowing it to get stronger.
How do
That
you
was
make it stronger? Like, how do you, I guess, turn up the volume of,
listen.
yeah.
And then you acknowledge it, right? So law of attraction, you acknowledge it. Oh, I liked how that happened. I want more of that. Like, I'm going to listen more. And it's called awareness. You become aware of it, right?
Hmm.
You're aware of when you feel your mom around, right? And I'm aware because I feel, oh, my dad's here. I wanted to call him. I knew he was here this morning. He gave me a song a long time ago, and I woke up and I was singing it, and I was like, oh, I got to play that song. And it brings me to tears, but of course it's the holiday.
Interesting. Yeah. It's, I guess I think it's awareness. And isn't it also faith in yourself to trust what you hear?
Faith over fear.
Because if you get something, many times this gets in the way, and logically you say, no, that's too easy. Or, no, that can't be the right answer. But it
Right.
is the right answer.
And you know what? Your body is a really good barometer. So people we're all so busy, we don't listen. We've talked about this before, right? But your body is a really good barometer. So you meet somebody, you're not really sure that you like them, and your gut hurts. And then you blow it off. Oh, they're really nice, right? You ended up marrying them, and then you're divorced 3 years later because they are the person that you thought the second you met them, right? It's really, or you marry them because you feel this beautiful thing, and it still ends up you get divorced years later because you had a big lesson to go through. And so God, whomever, the universe allowed you to do that because you needed that opportunity for growth and all the lessons that came with it.
It sucks, but it's true.
Oh, yeah.
It's no other way to put it. And just what you said describes my life.
Oh,
Just what you said describes my life. And in my journey, I believe that people reveal who they are in the very beginning, but you need to be aware. I mean, if it's more of a romantic kind of thing, you get swept up in the excitement of somebody new and everything,
feels beautiful.
except when your radar goes up and it's like, that's fine, no problem.
Right.
No, it's telling you something for a reason.
Called a red flag.
You know, I got what you're saying. It
Yeah.
depends on how you interpret it, but maybe it's not such a red flag, but somebody's moral character at that moment, but it doesn't seem like a big thing. Although, if you're thinking it and it made an impression on you,
It is a big thing.
it is a big thing. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And sometimes we just write it off. That's not a big,
Yeah.
yeah, it's
But then,
there for,
then they do it again, and then you still ignore it, and they do it again. Trust me, I've done it myself, you know.
trust me, I've done it myself. And pretty big things, but you know what? I like to see the good in people. I like to trust, like to think that somebody makes a mistake and they fix it. I have my best friend this year. He did something major that compromised my situation. Big thing. I put my trust in him. He thought it would, would be easier to recover from. However, he took care of everything and he made it right. And our relationship is probably better now than it has been in many, many years. And he's my best friend. Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I did wonder. There was a point where, 6 months ago, I was like, yeah, I don't know. I'm never going to trust him again. But he made it right.
That's wonderful. Yeah,
Yeah.
well, that's exactly, you see that behavior and you have to know everyone makes mistakes, and now they're working hard to correct it, right?
Yeah.
Some people just keep doing their behavior over and over again, and we ignore it. And you said, a minute ago, I like to have faith that our people are good people. And I do too. It's got me in trouble because I have faith overall people are good, right? Sometimes that's been my downfall, but I've gotten the red flags, I've ignored them.
Yeah.
And I also have to have faith, first of all, that I'm a good person first. And so if I'm not feeling comfortable with something someone did, even though they could still be a good person, they're not the person for me. And I didn't put enough faith in myself as a good person and a knowing person and my intuition to make a better choice at that time. But I've learned, right? It was an opportunity for growth. And now I go, okay, hold on.
Yeah.
That's it for me.
Oh, I totally got you. And I saw a meme. I don't know if I shared this with you. It was like a month ago, and it was a meme. Well, words on Bob Marley's face, just underneath him in the on the post.
Great man.
And I don't know if he said it, because then I've also seen that it's attributed to William Shakespeare, but now it's what governs me, and it's very simple: love all, trust few, do the right thing.
Mhm.
So the trust few, I would never say that
Me either.
in the past, but life's lesson. Yeah, there you
Right.
go.
If you
Doesn't
want
mean
to, go ahead, I'm sorry.
it doesn't mean you can't love everybody, but yeah, you run into some person on the street, you share the love. Yeah, open a door for them. You help them out if they need help. Doesn't mean I'm going to trust you. Maybe not now. Maybe
You
not
know
down
what?
the road.
It's about helping those people and opening the door and doing the thing. But you need to trust yourself first,
100%.
right? And so with that, other people come around you that you can trust. It's about yourself first, inner to outer.
Well, that's a really good point, because it's always been said that we attract what
What
we
we,
are,
yeah.
right? And if you don't, yeah, of course, we're all going to say, boy, trust me. Yeah, of course I trust it. Do you really trust yourself? Do you really trust what's coming out? Do you trust that you're doing the right thing? Do you trust that your gut, your intuition, do you trust it? All of that stuff. I don't think many of us really, when you really think about it, really trust ourselves. And I don't think many of us love ourselves. It's easy to say we do, right?
Mhm. It's about being your authentic self and accepting the good stuff and the not so good stuff. And then
Sure.
what do I want to work on as a person? Do I want to be, untrustworthy? Do I want to be the person who doesn't open doors for people? No, I want to open
Yeah.
doors. I help people all the time. But choice is your superpower, Steve, right?
Interesting way to look at it.
I have an
Uh,
intuition all day. What choices do I have? What's the better thing for me so I can be strong enough to be the best I can for others as well?
We're out of time, but I find it somewhat interestingly fascinating that we've talked before about you, how you connect to the other side. You've shared insight with me about me, my life. Spot on. Today, we really didn't focus, excuse me, on the mediumship so much. It was more about the universe, but that just shows that you run deep in all of that kind of stuff, which is cool.
It's all one thing. Really, it's not just mediumship. We're all one and we're all connected, and we
Yeah.
really need it's, not just the holiday season, but if you look around at all the chaos, we need to be kind to each other. And that means being kind to yourself as well. And it doesn't mean you're selfish. It means doing the right thing. When you're not comfortable, you sit back and say, nope,
Yeah.
that's not for me today.
I do a radio show. Mostly we play music every day, and I end it every day with be kind to yourself and others. It's the last thing I say every day.
No.
And I only because that's what I've learned. I want people to remember that. What's your website, Leah?
It's mediumleah.com. It's mediumleah.com. And I now have a new website that you're the king on, because I put these episodes on there. So if anyone wants to go back, they can go back and look at my YouTube, which is Medium Leah as well. And if you like and subscribe my channel, I'm going to do a little self-promotion. For every 100 followers I get, I will pick someone random and do a free reading, whether it's tarot, mediumship, or intuitive life coaching. So whatever.
Cool. Wow. You're fantastic. Always love talking with you. It's you make me and everybody think in a very unique way. And I thank you for that.
You're welcome. And thank you.
Thank you. Embrace the pause. Right?
Great pause.
We'll be right back.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.